we haven't done a transformation like this of a historic residence hall. We've done, smaller pieces of scope in other small residence halls. We've built brand new residence halls from scratch, but for a period of time, this was our largest residence hall on campus.
The context and the existing building really did inform the design. I think to stand on the corner of 19th and F, and it could be the 1930s, restored exterior of the building, the entrance, all that needed to really be preserved and maintained. But the building kind of set up a promise that it didn't deliver on the inside.
The ground floor of the courtyard was in shadow all the time because of the height of the building. So by carving away that section of the building, it lets daylight into the whole building, into the courtyard, but it also allows for a series of outdoor terraces to be installed. So the courtyard goes from being a disregarded liability to being this asset and heart of the community.
The building was a pretty dense building. We had over, just around 1,100 students living primarily in quads, fives, and sixes. We really wanted to focus on doubles and singles, as well as really trying to make the living space much more livable and adding a significant amount of common space to the building where it really didn't have common space before.
I think one of the greatest things about Thurston Hall is the contrast between the exterior and the interior, that the staid preservation of the 1930s building and the entry from the outside then builds up the suspense and really the payoff of going into the courtyard, which is completely transformed with modern materials, light colors, and plantings everywhere. Through the doors, you get a glimpse of the garden and the courtyard and the green and the sunlight coming through, but you're drawn to the courtyard, and I think it's remarkable that there are at least 5 or 6 different spaces in that courtyard, from terraces on multiple levels. The view to the south up to the sky, I think, is really where that sequence ends, and expansive openness, letting the sunshine in.
Alumni who had seen the building when they had lived in it, even if it had been decades, to walk into this building and be immediately stunned by the transformation. The response has been such enthusiasm from even those who were most skeptical about us tackling this project.
The first year experience is really about building community, and the way that the building was designed was to bring students out of their rooms and into these community spaces around the building. The old Thurston Hall had probably 2 lounges for the entire building. The current Thurston Hall has at least 2 per floor. What makes Thurston Hall special to me is the life that's in the building. It used to be very dark and not very well lit and just kind of dingy hallways, and now when you walk around in the middle of the semester, there's students everywhere. The social spaces on every floor are full of students doing various things, whether it's studying or socializing or just hanging out. It's great to see students using these spaces that we've designed for them.
I think Thurston has something to tell the entire design community. It is a model of where sustainability is now in terms of looking at existing buildings and seeing their opportunity. It's a model for residence life as typology, which is a really difficult typology in terms of sustainability. It's using all of these existing things that are supposed to make the project so much more complicated and not high performing, and yet it does it in a way that is a model for the future, I think.
So with a reimagined Thurston Hall, it's really, where students are thriving in the space. When students are breaking bread together, they're getting to know each other. They're telling stories. They're not in an academic setting. They're out of their rooms, so they're together. And it really allows for that community building.
I think the biggest lesson learned from the project is to stick to the big idea. And we had a bold vision as part of the design competition. And the university was enthusiastic and supportive and really embraced that idea to the point where we were partners in continuing to develop it, defend it, and carry it out.
I just can't overemphasize how different it is. And yet it's the same bones, it's the same building, just reimagined.
The final finished product is even better than the design vision. I mean, we saw the renderings through the design competition that we did with VMDO, and they looked amazing, and everyone in the committee was all very excited about it, but then seeing the end product is even better than we could have imagined. And we're getting nothing but positive feedback from everybody that's gone through the building, whether it's students who live here, whether it's parents who are just coming to pick up their students and walking around and seeing this amazing building, people that have seen the old Thurston and seen the new Thurston, and everyone just agrees it's a night and day difference, and it's just an amazing transformation.
When families and students are considering the university, they are aware that Thurston is a new destination to seek. Thurston will continue to be something that attracts students to that first year experience that is so special and leaves them with lasting memories.